Personal Learning Goals by Christine Rechtewald. Understanding and integrating into a graduate studies School of Communication Arts learning community. Instructional design is the degree I am working towards with the advisor, which can only be Lisa Jones. She's the head of department for instructional design. I will be in a complete online studies. There will be no in school unless I specifically require or request to meet with my advisor, which she has already said is possible. Engaging in graduate level thought and research. I am currently working on micro badge work with the school and will be continuing to work on a GE project micro badge work, which will also be cumulative within my master's degree. I work with Icicle, which is a online team working together that meets once a month in order to keep up with the newest technology and innovative products that come out, as well as the information needed that may come out in the future or currently. It is head up by MIT. The newest technology is something that I'm going to need to know on a regular basis, so my research has to be on point at all times. I need to make sure that I know what's coming out, especially when it is considered AI or augmented reality or anything to have to do with the newest products and the newest technologies for training, development, school curriculum, anything. I will be looking into presenting at the convention, hopefully in the next 2 years for MIT. Utilizing library resources. There are two different types of different library resources. There is the library for Kindle and the outside of the library, which is research. Now, I know that you have to choose manageable topics when you are looking into research, peer-reviewed items. You need to make sure that you are looking at the publishing date, especially in the career field I'm going into with the master's degree I am looking into, because publishing dates are very important in this field. A publishing date within 3 to 4 years could make it very outdated, especially since this career field and the technologies are new, which would mean that everything that comes out is going to have something new, and everything that was out 3 years ago is more than likely outdated. You're going to need to keep a relevance to the topic you are picking. This is important as well as your relevance to the topic, being that this is such a huge topic that has many different small topics underneath, like AI, augmented reality, different types of learning models, curriculum advice, and everything. Writing at a graduate level is going to be something that I've been doing for a while, but is still something even now I'm learning more about. APA style is what I usually write in, so I will be continuing to write in that style as much as possible. I prefer APA over MLA. Citing sources is something that needs to be done within the actual writing itself, as well as our resources cataloged at the end. An abstract is going to be put in any of your dissertations or capstone projects when you do them. This requires a paragraph or so that gives a synopsis of what you're going to be writing. Your vocabulary should always be right underneath your abstract, which gives you a highlight of what vocab you're really going to want to know and look up. You should know your audience whenever you do decide that you are going to write a paper. Are you writing for someone who is among your peers? Are you writing for someone who has no idea the language of what you're looking at or talking about? Are you writing for a regular audience, someone who is new to the field? These are all things that you want to know so that you make sure you gear what you are writing towards your audience. As I said, your resources are going to need to be at the end. You should have a very big resource list. You want to have somewhere around 15 to 30 so that you make sure that you are getting these ideas and showing where you got some of your information so that you show that you know what you're talking about. Your should be have an appropriate length to your writing. If you're writing a small paper, you want to look at the fact of 2 to 5 pages. If you're writing a cumulative report of everything you know, you're looking at somewhere around 10 to 15 pages when you're writing. Thriving in an online learning environment and using effective time management techniques. I happen to use a thing here down at the bottom, which would be a Excel spreadsheet. This spreadsheet gives you your class, any kind of information you want to put in there about the assignment you're working on, little comments that you need so that you remember when you do it, and the due date. I color coordinate these to make sure that these are shown that they're done, they're in progress, there's something I'm waiting on. Anything that is needed is put in here so that way I know what I'm looking at. I set alarm clocks for anything that might happen to be due on a certain date or a certain time, and I know that I'm going to need that extra time. So I set an alarm clock going, it's due this day. I need to go back and do it no matter what. And as you can see, I always give myself some time to relax because, to be honest, if you blow yourself out and you are frazzled and have no way of even controlling how you think, you're never going to do good on an assignment. You're not going to do good for anybody. So you might as well relax before you do it, or schedule some time to relax for whatever you're doing. Understanding policies and procedures. Your advisor must approve your final project. This I know a little bit about because we've been working on one of the final projects I'm going to be working on with preferably virtual reality. I'm working on trying to figure out how to produce what I need done, especially considering the fact that you happen to not know one part. Say you happen to be an instructional design like me, but you need something created that's going to take a coder. I don't know how to code at all. Don't know about you, but I'm looking for someone to code. This is where you're going to need to make sure that you have someone that can tell you, help you, and work with you on that final project. Know your dates of submission for graduation. This is important because if you don't submit it by the date, you're not graduating at the time that you'd like to graduate. So, like, say you want to graduate this April, your due date was in February. Requirements for graduation. You need to know what you need for graduation. So, something like this, when you look in the policies and procedures, where it's going to tell you all the things that you need to do to graduate from your master's degree. This one's instructional design, and as you can see, it gives you programs that you are required to take, and then it gives you a pathway. In the pathway, you must choose one of the different pathways, and in the little parentheses, it says 9, so you have 9 credits that you must have in all for whatever pathway you choose. Always know where to find the answers to any of your questions. So the fact is even if you do not know the procedure or the policy, you need to know how to find it. That is when I can stress big time, because when you turn around and decide that you need to know when graduation is, or what you need to do for your final project, or any other policy or procedure, you need to know where in Asbury, under their columns, you can go ahead and go to find what you need. Creating a flourishing graduation experience. Remember things such as it's okay to ask questions. Your advisor is there to help you. She's been there to help me on this journey, and she's an amazing person, I can tell you. She has been with me for 2 years already, and will be there my last year, next year, before I graduate. Always take breaks. As I said a little while ago, I can't stress this enough. No one can work on an empty tank. Always take a break, recalculate, readjust. Priorities are important. Know how to adjust them properly. Talk to your advisors. They are big help. They've been through it. They know it, and they are more than willing to help you out. Get help when it's needed. Trust me, this I've used a lot. I need help quite often, but you also got to know how to get that help. Does your advisor allow phone calls? Does she or he allow emails? Do they allow time for you to make an appointment? Or is it something where you can actually do a Zoom call to them? My advisor's pretty open. She's pretty good. She allows me to talk to her whenever I really need to. And I've heard her talk to some of the other students talking about meetings that they've had. So make sure you get in touch with your advisor and know what their schedule's like, what they're willing to do. It's been great. This is Christine. You have a great day.